I believe it's about that time. We're about ready to activate our meeting. I'm ready to roll. Welcome, everyone, to the Police Commission. We have an interesting agenda. On the agenda, there will be a time where we will go into executive session. It will be a very short executive session, so you don't have to leave or anything. We'll go into the back room, and I think that will facilitate what we have to do in that executive session. I'd like to call the meeting, the Police Commission, Wednesday, October 12th, 2022, to order. It's an in-person regular meeting, 7 p.m., Watertown Town Council Chamber on 61 Echo Lake Road, Watertown, Connecticut. We will do a roll call now. I will start on my left.
Carmine Verno.
David Giannetti.
Jamie Lambeau.
Richard Antonetti.
Robert McCarthy.
Ryan Russ.
Also here at the meeting tonight, we have the Deputy Chief and the Chief. Later on, we will have an announcement to be made by the Chief. Moving on. Public participation. There are 2 mics here. When you dare go up to the chair, you have something to say, just push the left button and there should be a little light coming on for you to speak. Anyone wanting to speak in public participation? Yes, sir. Please take over at the next table there and activate the light.
Check. Okay. Thank you very much for having us.
Just state your name.
My name is Richard Stack, 66 Augusta Street, Oakville. My reason for being here tonight, I'm representing myself and my neighbors with the John Trumbull School Emergency Access Breakaway Gate. This has been an ongoing problem, as you know. You've all seen me before. So far to date, I have been to 2 Board of Education meetings, 1 Town Council meeting, and this is my 2nd Police Commissioners meeting. Now, in my life in the military, when you have a problem, you go through the chain of command. And I have done that. I have done everything properly to give our information to all 3 of these meetings. You all have pictures and proof and evidence of the documents that I gave and everything that's important to our how do I say, getting the condition number 2 back in compliance. Thank you, honey. They've been out of compliance for a long, long time. And I don't know who is going to stop them from being out of compliance. But hopefully we can get to the end of this. Now, in my past meetings, I have presented 11 pictures. I hope everybody had a chance to view them. They're damning proof that there's nothing safe about the buses coming through our neighborhood on Augusta Street, Portland Street, Holton Street, Gorman Street. Out of all 3 panels, the Board of Education, Town Council, and the Police Commissioners meetings yourselves, not one person seen anything safe about those 11 pictures. But to this day, the buses continue to go back and forth through our neighborhood. And I don't know why, but when I see something not safe, I want to do something about it. And nothing has been done about it, but we don't know that. I don't know that for a fact, so I'm not going to say that. Now, we have presented 43 petition signatures from our neighbors. That's a whole lot of people that are passionate about this. They didn't come to my house and sign something. We went around, beat the street, and we got these people to get on board because they were passionate also. Now, to this date, Superintendent Allison of Villanueva, she was told to put out a letter to the parents encouraging them or their students to ride the bus. and cut down on the traffic. I don't know if that letter has gone out. This is questions I still have. We have presented all the evidence, all the facts, all the pictures, everything we can present. There's nothing more I have to add, basically. To date, the gate has not been closed. They close it, I think, after the buses come in, after the buses leave, a little bit intermittent. But that gate needs to be shut all the time. It's an emergency access gate. This is redundant. We've been over this and over this, but I'm back here again because nothing that I see has been done. Nobody has gotten back to me on my formal letter of complaint to the Board of Education that I had sent out at least a couple months ago. It was a formal letter of complaint, and not one person has gotten back to me with an answer. We do want answers to that letter of complaint, and we hope that we can get a resolution to this matter. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else like to speak? Yes, sir. State your name and address, please.
My name is Frank Genova. I live on 104 Pleasant View Avenue.
What was the street again, please?
104 Pleasant View Avenue.
Pleasant View, thank you.
Okay, I'm up on the high school park.
Right.
First, I have a couple of questions for our chief of police here. I know he's been sending officers up there, and no problems with the parking, as long as the cop is parked there.
Could you speak into the mic?
Okay, there was no problems with the parking, as long as the cop is there. So the cop is there, I say, maybe 3 weeks. It was fine. The cop leaves, the cars come back. This has been going on 2 years, am I right? 2 years. Well, the cop is there, but you have to do something besides park the cop car there. You have to get out, you have to warn these people. Give them 2 warnings. Then you're gonna have to do something, give them a ticket. That's the only way they're gonna stop this. I have a picture I just want to show the chief, and it'll only take a minute, but I think it's important. This is right after the car street here, right? You see this car, you see the stop sign over there? You see where they park? This is my car. I took a picture of it. Where do I go? Where do I go and get by this car? I have to go on the opposite side of the street, am I right? Cars coming around the corner, am I right?
I understand your concern.
Yeah. Who's at fault? Me?
Sir, can you,
Am I the one that's going to be at fault for this?
sir, can you go back to the microphone because we can't hear you?
Sir, we understand your concern, and we are
you said
taking
it.
enforcement action up there.
You've seen what happens. I go around that corner, I get a head-on collision, I'm the one that's going to be responsible for everything. Am I right? I'm on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah, I can't answer that right here, depending on the situation.
Who can answer that? If I'm on the wrong side of the road, somebody's got to know if
Yeah.
I'm going to be wrong.
Sir, we
Okay.
understand your concern.
We'll forget that now, but this car's got to stop being parked there. I've been promised this many, many times. All right, now I'm going to get to this here, the gate. The superintendent's here, and I'll direct this question to you. Why is the gate open in the morning?
This is not a question and answer session. This is for you to address the police
Okay, then I'll
commission.
address it. The gate is open in the morning. The cars are coming up the hill going into the gate. There's a sign about this big, do not enter, one way. Are we teaching these kids to just ignore these signs? It's the one way, as long as I know, as long as I've been driving a car, I think when the signs say do not enter, that's exactly what it means. So I'd like to know why the cars are going in that gate in the morning.
That is the reason why you are here, to give a statement, and this is the way we find out where there's people who are not complying with the regulation. The gate must, I always underline the word must, be closed for the high school, also for the John Trumbull. This is something that is implied that they must do it. We can do no more than ask that those gates be closed. If they don't comply, we will then have to take other action.
Okay, but
one of the reasons you're here tonight is to inform us, and you are informing us. You showed something to the chief, And I'm sure the chief would like to answer that, but he will see that there is the problem that may block you, or you may have to go on the wrong side of the road. Now that you've made that statement, we will act upon your
Okay.
statement. Before,
I
we didn't know that.
I understand what you're saying, but now we know that this is also a one-way gate. So there would be action taken on that, hopefully right away. I went up there, I usually don't see it in the morning because it's early in the morning. But I knew I was coming to this meeting tonight, so I said, let me go see if they're still opening that gate. So I drove up there, sure enough, the gate was open, the cars are coming in, one is coming out, and they had to hit the brakes. All right, and we got that now. Now I was coming up the hill the other day, I found out, I think it was October 6th, there was a half a day of school. I got it down here, if you want to know the exact date, I could get it for you. Maybe it might be important for you, let me see, I can go and find it. The reason why I say it might be important for you, I'm following a town bus up there, not a school bus. One that picks up handicapped people or probably older people that has doctor's appointments, right? He got to the top of Tower Hill. Are you familiar with Tower Hill?
Yes, I am.
He had to come to a dead stop. Cars are coming out. 1, 2, 3, 4. No stop, not even slowing down. The bus is stuck in the middle of the hill. After a while, I just started losing them up at this corner. I just laid on the horn. Finally, one of the kids stopped and let the bus go by. This is how they come out of the gate. Now, I went to the chief a couple times, I talked to him. Now I went to the town manager. Well, before school started, it was in the summertime. I talked to him about the situation, right? So he said, could you compromise at all? I said, yes, I'll try. I said, here's what I want. I want all those cars. I'm talking 15 cars sometimes were parked on the street, and all going to come back a little at a time, because already there's about 7 or 8 of them, and the cops just stopped going over there. So he calls me up before school started. He says, all right, we'll open the gate just enough to let the traffic out, and there will be a person out there monitoring that traffic, because I also asked for this, because I said there's no stop sign there because the police has no ability to put a stop sign there. I was told that, even though there's 7 stop signs inside the schoolyard. He said there's going to be somebody out there monitoring that traffic every day. I said, okay, that sounds good. This way, they're not going to come flying out of that gate, and cars coming up, you can't see because there's vines all over the fence. There's the wall, like a slob house up there. When you see the high school, you go on French Street, it looks very nice. Take it right up Tower Road and see what a mess it really is. Anyways, nobody's out there monitoring cars. So another lie I got from the town. It seems like you cannot draw the truth out of people in this town. So I'm just getting sick of it, and tonight I hope you do something. You had a month already, and absolutely nothing's been done. Now I see a traffic study. Oh, that's nice. Who's going to pay for that? Tax people? That's all I got to say.
Thank you, sir, for coming and giving us that new information. It's good. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Yes, ma'am?
Susan Stack, 66 Augusta Street.
Could you speak a little louder into the mic?
I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
I had dental work today, and it's like hard to.
All right.
Susan Stack, 66 Augusta Street, and I just want to ask a question, and I'll put it in a different way. We were told that there was going to be a traffic study for John Trumbull, but we haven't heard anything about that. We had a lot of elderly people here the last time that we came to this meeting, and a lot of them are afraid to come here now because they're afraid of retaliation from the town. Now, I've lived in this town my whole life. My daughter was raised here. She went to the Watertown schools. I went to the Watertown schools. And there should be no reason that any taxpayer in this town should be afraid to speak because of retaliation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Catherine Camera, 31 Cottage Place. I wasn't going to say this, but I will say after listening to Mr. and Mrs. Stack, I completely understand their frustration. I have been there. It's been a long time, but I originally got involved. I'm sure everybody knows who I am, writing in the newspaper and all the involvement. The reason why I got involved with this town back in 2015 was because I had an issue, and I was being given the runaround, and I was being ignored. I never got answers. I got lied to. I completely understand your pain, and you'll be... The commissions will be lucky if you don't turn out like me, because I never stopped, and I'm not going to stop, because it's our right to address our government and to ask of our government to do for us, the taxpayers. So fight on. Do what you have to do. That was not what I was intending to say, but so first I would like to ask, the last meeting at the police department was in June. Then you didn't have a meeting in July, you didn't have a meeting in August, and then in September the meeting was here. I went there, I even looked at the agenda, but didn't notice that there was nothing highlighting that it was here. I looked again today, and it's here again. So if you would please let us know, the public know, if now the meetings are going to be here, because it's not like on the agenda it says different location for tonight. It's got nothing to tell us that that's just for tonight. So it's 2 meetings in a row. And so I don't always look at the agenda. So sometimes I'm coming straight from work, and I just would like to end up at the right place. So if it's something where it's going to change, and I have to pay attention, then I'll make sure that I try to do that.
I did ask the secretary to post on the door. There should have been a sign that the meeting is here tonight.
I don't know about the door. I know the meeting was here because I looked at the agenda. My question is it temporary? Because on the agendas, it would be nice if it said for this evening or something, because it's making it look like it's now been changed to this venue. So that would be helpful. I'm assuming it's not, because if somebody's putting something on the door, then maybe it's just for tonight.
On the agenda, it does state where the meeting is.
Yes, I know that, Mr. Antonetti. What I'm trying to explain is that it doesn't say it's changed for this evening. And since it's happened 2 meetings in a row, it's not highlighted, it's not anything. I'm asking if the meetings are now going to be held here regularly. It's got nothing that indicates that this was just for this evening. That's what the question is.
It's not going to be regularly here. If we get a new police station, then we will have a larger room for meetings. Right now, you know how tight it is. And normally when we feel that there's going to be a larger group that want to attend, we will hold our meeting here because it's a better facility than at the police department. And
so the answer to the question is, I need to look at the agenda every month, because that's, okay, thank you, that's all I wanted to know. Okay. And getting into the parking and with school being in session, I did send a letter to a picture to the chief. This came up several years ago under the prior administration, that I kept telling them that what people are doing when they take their kids to the bus stop is they park their car at a stop sign. And that's illegal. You have to be 25 feet back. And it's not just one car. Sometimes it's 2 and 3 deep, right at a stop sign. In my neighborhood, I got a situation where when they do that, it's going to be hard. Coming around, somebody's going to come up. It's a blind spot. Years ago, I complained, and nothing was done. Finally, I brought in a pretty good picture, and it happened to be in the wintertime with snow. It was obvious that it was really bad. It's again in my neighborhood, but it's not just there. I did just send, I don't have time to go around taking pictures. I see it all the time. I see it all the time, and I really think that not only should the police department put something in the newspaper about that, I think that the Board of Education would hopefully do a letter or in one of their newsletters or something that they do, maybe even on the website, to also alert parents that you cannot park your car, just pull up and park at a stop sign. It's also dangerous. I've seen kids talking to their parents at the driver's side of the car, and when you've got cars trying to get around, I mean, it's really dangerous. It's dangerous for the kid. I wouldn't do that if I was a parent, but anyway, that is another situation that I find to be dangerous and happening now because school's back in. And lastly, I just want to tell you a little story because I want to say that I really missed an opportunity for the police department, and I feel really bad about this. But I think you'll understand what happened. So last Friday, I was having lunch with a friend at the new restaurant down in Oakville, Island Roots. And I was talking with my friend, and all of a sudden I was pretty rude. I just sort of got up and walked away because I saw a police car in the middle of the road or blocking a car going the opposite way, and the door of the police car was open, and I don't see an officer anywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, what is happening here? It took me a few minutes, and I did see an officer in front of the bank that's there. Is that Thomaston Savings, I think, talking to people in a vehicle, an SUV, and I see him talking. And I'm not quite paying attention, and his arms are down. And then my friend, I walked over, I said, I don't know what's happening. And he said, he's got his gun out. And the way his arms, I really couldn't see the gun, but it was pretty obvious at that point that he had his gun out and it was facing downward. And within a couple of minutes, I started to hear all the sirens and everything. And I have to say, I don't even own a television. I don't see half of what's on TV, but I listen enough, I read enough, and I'll watch whatever I'll watch on newsreels of what's been out there. George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, all of that. I have to say I was nervous. I was really nervous as to what was going on because then more officers came, more guns were out, and it was really tense. There was someone came out of the vehicle. Then there was somebody on the ground, laying on the ground, and it was really something to. You didn't know what was going to happen. The opportunity I didn't realize until several days later that I missed was I really, really wish I had filmed that, because I think in all with all of what I've seen in the last couple of years, I realized what my expectation was something bad was going to happen and somebody was going to get hurt, somebody was going to get shot, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen at all. I wish I had a video because I think so often we're used to seeing the bad of what happened. And I don't even know, and I'm hoping maybe tonight, I don't really know what the situation was. I'll have to tell you, there was a lot of stories going on in that restaurant. But it would have been, and I don't know if there's cameras at the, I do wonder if there's a camera at the bank or CVS or anything that possibly captured that all of what happened. And I don't know where the cameras are set up for the roads and everything. But I really feel like I missed an opportunity, and me, of all people, I'm always out there, you know, trying to take care and doing my thing, that would have showed how it can be done, how it can be handled, and no shots were fired. And I just have to say, I don't know what the situation was, but I was impressed that I was able to walk out with my friend not too long after that. There was still some activity going on, but we were able to walk out of there and just be like, wow, that was really something, and not feel like, you know, because I got to tell you, there was a few minutes there where I was really holding my breath, basically. So anyway, it was a great job done by the department, and I missed the opportunity for you, so I'll try next time.
Yeah, we have it very well filmed.
Great, great.
And we can catch up offline. I can explain what happened.
Terrific, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to speak? Yes, sir. Please state your name and address.
My name is Steve Ezzo, 687 Buckingham Street. I live between Augusta and Portland Street. The situation with John Trumbull buses really doesn't affect me, but it affects my neighbors. And I'm born and bred right there. I live in my grandparents' house. There's elderly people down there. And what I don't understand is this is going on months and months, Mr. Stack, what is caused. It's justified. And I just hope and pray that this doesn't keep going on and on till somebody gets hurt. Because he's showing you the pictures. You don't even need to have an education to see what's going on. It's right there in color in the pictures. I just hope something gets done. It's just been too long. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Anyone else? Please state your name and address, sir.
Al Mickle, 95 Woodbine Avenue. I'm not going to talk about anything that's previously been talked about. I'm going to talk about item number 6, installation of a traffic light at the intersection of Denunzi Road and Route 262. Now, I'm not sure if this is coming up to the forefront because of an accident down there. I lived on the first house in the corner there for 14 years. I drove up that road for 10 years coming back from work. There have been always accidents down there. On a summer day, I'd be sitting in the living room, the windows open, and hear a god-awful crash. I was usually the first one to call 911 about the accident. Now, I'm not sure if any of them were serious accidents, but I think a traffic light down there would probably be the worst idea in the world. Coming out of that road, Denunzi Road, I can see miles up the road. I can see around the corner down the other way. I am not sure why accidents happen at that intersection. It should not be a dangerous intersection. I think maybe there was 5 or 6 accidents in the 14 years I was living down that I knew about. So, trucks coming down that hill, they won't be able to stop coming down that hill at the posted speed limit. So I just think it's going to be a cause for more accidents, and I hope you consider that and don't spend your money on a traffic stop down. Spend it where it's needed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Last chance. Anyone else would like to speak? Seeing none, public participation is now closed. I ask your endurance for a few, I'd say 10 minutes, so we can go into executive session. We'll go in the back room, and we'll be right out. That's item number 4 on our agenda, and so we'll move to that recess now.
It does. Yeah.
Recess? Yeah, sure.
Motion to go into executive session.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to propose a motion for the board to move into executive session to discuss personnel issues.
Do I have a second?
Can you have that motion to invite the chief and deputy into that executive session,
Of course,
please?
I'd like to amend the motion to invite both the chief and deputy chief to our executive session.
We need a second. Do I have a second?
Second.
I'd like a member of the commission right now. There are 5 members here, an acting member. And Mr. Russ is an acting member. So would somebody second it?
I think Carmine, right?
Second.
Second. Okay, but he's not.
Oh, I'll second it. Second.
Motion has been seconded.
Oh, okay.
Okay? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, motion passed unanimously. Okay, we can